But that is a hero that I've not seen very much of. I know that for a fact. The Tidehunter now coming out on Infamous.
It's a bit of an Oscar certified classic. I mean, he's been playing Tide for a long time. Just in general, I mean, Infamous has been in a relatively rough spot with this DPC season. I mean, they lost their first 6 series of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They are automatically relegated because of that. However, importantly, they won their last series. They're coming off of a win. Like, they're 1-6. They beat Keed Stars, who, you know, some very good players on Keed Stars, a lot of the Brazilian stars, your good friend Costa on that team, and that's a good win from Infamous. At least they're coming off of a strong win going into the series versus Alpha. Meanwhile, Alpha have been, I mean, you played against you've seen their team in NADPC. They've been sputtering and sputtering and sputtering. To the point they've roster changed in the last 12 hours. So one team off a high, one team off a very unfortunate low.
Mm-hmm. And they pick up the little fish, and the little fish is going to eat the big fish here. Slark happens to do very well against the Tidehunter in lane. I mean, you thought it was clever. I'm sure the viewers are cringing just listening to me. But obviously Slark very good against the Tidehunter in lane, being able to Dark Pack off the Anchor Smash debuff immediately. Having Essence Shift to continue to burn through his strength, despite the fact that he doesn't take very much damage thanks to Kraken Shell, is an excellent lane matchup. So I am normally not so much of a fan of Slark, but here I do like it quite a bit.
I mean, it's one of those things where there's a lot of decent lockdown in this game, but not good anti-Slark lockdown. And Slark's one of those heroes where if you're not locking him down specifically, he can kind of pop off.
Mm-hmm.
There still is one counter pick. There's only one counter pick that's a problem. There's not much time to deal with the Slark hero. It's going to have to be a carry pick, and a lot of the carries you might want are already banned, whether it's this Faceless Void or this Morphling. Both of them are already banned out, so could be a great game for Rise of Slark.
Yeah, they got the other fish in the game as well that, does play quite well. What's wrong? I thought you were a big fan of fishing. You spent many hours fishing.
You entertain me, Neff. You know that. You are somebody who entertains me immensely. I mean, there's still more fish to ban out. There's still Slardar if you're getting real into the fish meta here. So there's plenty of time to figure this one out. And Kunkka as well. It's a admiral. He's a navally based hero. So there's still plenty of counters in that thematic sense.
Yeah, lore-wise, not supposed to work with Tidehunter though.
This is true. Instead, we will get a Bloodseeker ban, which is more of a classical Slark counter. Yep. Rupture, pretty cool against obviously the True Sights is pretty nice as well when Slark lets to play on low HP and regen. So,
but again, he's able to just dispel that. Oh, sorry, you're talking about the Bloodseeker. I thought you were talking about Slardar. I zoned out for half a second.
Oh no, definitely not the Slardar. Yeah. the banned Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker, yeah, gotten rid of here, so it's a hero that would have come online very fast, like you mentioned, and chase it down Slark. So up to that regen. They got rid of Dawnbreaker on the other side there, an offlaner that fights a lot earlier. I think Slark usually needs like 2 items before he can start contributing. He feels quite weak before that. The Nyx is kind of surprising.
I agree.
Fallen off, in my opinion.
It also means that we're going to have a bit of a weird situation farm priority wise, because I'm seeing a bunch of 3s, bunch of 4s. Not really seeing a carry. Either it's Ember carry or it's Tide carry. Maybe it's DP carry. Probably Mirana 5. Like, okay.
Now you're seeing it, yeah. The Huskar comes out as the last pick here on Alpha.
So this is a really good draft for Alpha. I like that Infamous has a pretty active style, but here's some weird heroes they've got here. It's going to be, again, assuming they're not role swapping, it'll be the Mirana mid, it'll be Tide support, DP offlane, Ember carry. I mean, DP offlane pretty normal. The rest of that's a little bit on the weirder side. So
yeah, it is.
It's definitely interesting. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I am not sure this is going to work, especially when they get last pick Huskard like this. I think that, I look at Alpha's lanes and I think they're just going to be significantly stronger. You've kind of shifted your heroes around based because you feel like Alpha's lanes are stronger, but I don't think they have a good answer for this Huskar. Maybe they get enough damage in onto him with like the huge amount of stun that you have from Nyx Assassin, but I find that a little bit unlikely. The Nyx is very good at shutting down the Bat Rider, though. I'll give it that much. But when you have that Spike Carapace and Impale combination coming out, and you have a Tusk coming behind you to just save you, get you out of the 4-second lockdown, the game becomes kind of rough.
I mean, maybe it's one of those things where if Infamous can win the lanes, it can kind of ball out of control the map, prevent Huskar from getting Roshan, prevent Slark from getting too many items. But I think it's going to require Infamous to do a little bit of outplaying if they plan on winning this game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Looks like they need just a second, and I was just testing to make sure that everything was working fine on mine.
Everything's not working fine on my end, so I'm reloading my Dota real fast.
That happens. You stuck on player perspective or something? That
Yeah,
one's
I
an
was.
absolute classic. Yeah.
I was watching player perspective earlier during the, because I was adminning the previous series of Ravens versus Norunes.
Ooh, uh-oh.
What I missed in the chat?
Oh, you didn't miss anything in the chat. I just realized that I normally observe on a gamepad, like one of those hotkey things that MMO players use. I did not bring that with me. So you guys are in for a bumpy ride.
You know, it's one of those things. We got neph, we got Badger, we got neph's ad hoc setup. I'm sure we got Pythian eating pizza, laughing in your background.
Nah,
Maybe Yumson laughing too. Like, that's how you know we're in for a good time.
Nah, I sent Pythian home. It's way too late. Past 9 p.m. over here. I'm not a slave driver. Come on.
Not to Pythia, at least. Maybe to your players. I mean, I've heard some things from your players, but not from Pythian.
Yeah, not from Pythian. Pythian deserves better.
He does. I'm a big Pythian fan. I know you are as well. I mean, we are in the Pythian fan club. It's fairly sized, but we're definitely both in it. You know, it's a fun time though when you're doing double duty on adminning and casting. Because right now I'm just like, all right, tabbing over to my timer, checking in on how much time they've used. If you're wondering, we're still under 2 minutes of pause time. So we're back.
Yeah, I mean this is the BTS Pro Series Classic.
I believe we're up to 11 minutes of pause time on the day.
Mm-hmm.
I have been keeping track of it as a thing to keep me entertained during the day. So yeah, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of Alpha versus Infamous. Infamous on the Radiant side, Alpha on the Dire side, Badger and neph on the mic. You know what? If you're here, you're in for a great time.
Yeah, my camera's not whipping around.
It's gonna. It might be interesting. We'll figure it out.
We'll see.
It's already a 5-man smoke gank from Alpha into this Radiant side jungle from east to west towards Kotaro Hayama, but he's a little bit too crafty, a little bit too maneuverable, it appears.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to be able to connect with him. I mean, Slark does have the advantage of having 1800 night vision, but it doesn't look like Kataro's going to give him the chance. Trying to wrap around right now on the Tusk, and you have boots on him. Actually, they're going to try to go for it. I tried to block him
Good
off.
ice shards, perfect. Kotaro has no regen either. He's completely going to die, barring a huge juke. And again, frostbitten up, brought on down. First blood goes to Satoshi on the offlane Batrider.
Interesting hero to give it to, but it means that he is off to a good start. He'll have boots pretty quickly. He's only 100 gold off of it right now. Surprised he ended up going down there, but guess, you know, you sit that far back, you're playing against Slark, it really doesn't matter if the ice shards are only blocking you for 4 seconds. That's all you need.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Obviously, you'd rather have a go to the Huskar or the Slark, but you get the kill wherever you can. You don't want him to run under that tier 2 tower, get the ability, get the extra armor, the extra regen, maybe juke in the trees over here. Now you ensure he is dead.
Yep.
That man must die.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, get this show on the road. Looks like action's going to start down here in the bottom lane as it's starting with 3 heroes. Rises, Empyrean, and Crawler here. I should think he can actually get a kill on the Watermelon. He's gotten Gush level 1, so he's not particularly tanky, but with this close to his tower, you do start with a lot of HP, he's going to be just fine. So, Crawler going to TP back up to the top lane.
Yeah, even with no Kraken Shell, even no Anchor Smash, he's still 800 HP, large, tanky strength hero with 3 armor, so hard kill to get.
Strengthy, tanky strength hero, strengthy tank hero.
We have called him the Watermelon for a reason. I mean, if you ever punched a watermelon, not a fun time.
Yeah.
Speaking of not a fun time, it's the courier. They're both dead. That's Boots and the set of Tangos gone on 2 different couriers. That's terrible for the side of Alpha. That's not a fun time at all on that top end.
Yeah, he didn't even have a. He just caught those couriers there. I thought there'd be like a Ward Deeper in to set that up. No, it just walks over there, managed to kill both of them, and he walks away as well. You cannot let this man get away with this. What the hell?
The problem is they already have. I mean, he's walked up slowly, boots in hand, was cutting the wave. And he was like, hey, that's free gold. That's free couriers. And he claimed them.
Here in the bottom lane, might try to go on to Empyrean. He turns around, drops a gush on him, but Kotaro doesn't follow up there. So Empyrean's going to be just fine.
He just killed Chains on Ember, so he can go for that play soon if he wants to. He can go for the slight Chains on Empyrean and go for the kill later on.
Well, take a look over to the mid lane. I mean, you mentioned this yourself. Kind of moving people around a little bit weird. Bottom in the mid lane isn't something we've seen for a while. Ooh, missed that one.
Yeah, it was Kotaro dropping bottom lane, and MJZ might join him as well. Rise goes for the dive, gets a double kill on the Slark, and I think he barely lives from the tower. Correction, he barely dies from the tower. One more shot comes in. Meanwhile, top lane's a dive as well. Batrider and Tusk diving that tower. Oscar on the run. TP, and that's Ember Spirit TP into the top lane. He's there with the chains. They're focusing down Batrider. Oscar is already dead, however, and there it is. Slight chains there on Satoshi. He's running to the south. That will be running to his grave. But across the map, fantastic job by Alpha.
Yeah. Managed to clean that one up. Unfortunately, you know, giving up kills on the Ember Spirit isn't great, but I imagine they'll be fine. And Crawler ends up just suiciding beneath that tier 2 tower after 30 seconds pass. Kills not credited to anyone. Doesn't give up any XP, and honestly not much gold.
Yeah, the expected play there, and you see it a lot from everything from top tier 1 Dota to like even like 5k MGMs at this point. Everyone does it for a reason. It's just optimal play.
Bottom lane, they end up pouncing onto the Death Prophet. Not exactly what you want to do, but she only has 1 point into the Spirit Siphon, so not incredibly.
She does have 8 wand charges, yeah. So she'll pop on those on up, survive over there, Impale's
so
there, and Empyrean he's taking the creep wave. Frostbite further is there on Oscar. Oscar follows the trade, will be there for Empyrean. Now it's Rises man fighting with Slade, and Carapace comes through, but it will not save him. One more double kill for Rises. He has 5 permanent stacks right now.
Yeah, he had plus 39 agility right there.
That's a problem.
Yeah, they did not want to turn and fight that. They accept that they get away and they leave. Like, going onto that Crystal Maiden, it looked really juicy underneath the creep wave there, but it was not a great play. Up in the top lane, they're going to commit onto Kotaro.
And it's a Firefly forward. Kotaro's in a lot of danger. He will have TP when he respawns, and that will have to be very soon because he's dead. Meanwhile, it's Katsu. Mr. MJZ on the run on Tide. Has 1 point in the Anchor Smash. Use it before he dies, but he will still die. Speaking of Alpha double kills, it's 1 for Satoshi in the top lane.
Yeah. Alpha, I'm like, having great plays happen all over the map, but things are not looking good so far for Infamous. And I don't know what the recovery plan is. I mean, yes, you're winning the mid lane, but your mid lane matchup is a Huskguard and Mirana. One of these heroes is a lot scarier in the early mid game than the other.
I'm actually not entirely sure what it's going to be either. I mean, maybe you catch Huskar killing Roshan. That's a huge swing right there if you get the Roshan and the Huskar kill, but again, Slark farms, Huskar still getting some farm. It's looking pretty good right now with this minute 4 stage of the laning phase.
Yep. Not much happening down here. I mean, the threat of the Nyx Assassin does make things a little bit scary if they realize the Nyx is kind of far away. In fact,
yeah, go in on again, pounce forward on Oscar. He's half HP, still has 4 magic wand charges. Sladen has the Impale, purged off by the Dark Pact. Oscar returns, siphoning on Rises. Frostbite is dead again onto Rise wants to re-engage once again. Oscar is going to his tower, as is Sladen. Both are fine for now. Rises wants the kills. Sladen dies to creeps. Oscar jukes away to the left side of the area, so he will be fine, but Rises still wants this kill. He has the boots. He wants this kill. He's 15 move speed faster, but Oscar seems to get away here.
Yeah, you don't want to go diving behind that tier 2 tower, get yourself caught out. He's sitting pretty low HP and mana.
Top lane, Ice Shards on Kotaro. Flame Break forward. He'll pop Magic Wand on Ember. The Snowball will stun, but Ember is still fine.
Yeah. Built up a lot of stacks under the Ember Spirit.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Impale on Black Soul. We're not done quite yet. Life Break forward. They're on Slade. Now it's Nyx who will die. Mirana goes forward. Okay. Star Man fights. He'll lose that one. A 1-for-1 trade. Slatims gets the kill there. And we're getting a lot of action right now, Neff.
This is what I like to see. We're 6 minutes of the game. Already 15 kills have happened. And Slatims might be in trouble. Empyrean, he's out for blood. He's hungry like the wolf.
Nice reference. Meanwhile, speaking of hungry, it's top lane where the fight once again breaks out. Snowball stuns on both. It's Ember on the run. Ember already dead. Katsu wants the trade, wants to bring down Tusk, but he cannot get either kill. The tower, oh no, both are so low. He wants this kill desperately. He's running forward, but he's slower than Batrider. He will not get the kills. He's angry. He knows they've escaped.
Yeah, man's got no boots, unfortunately. And once again, we're going to see Crawler suicide of the tower, but this time the kill is credited to MJZ.
At least a consolation prize, but again, no XP. Very unfortunate there for the Tide, and really for Infamous in general. It's 11-6 kill score wise. Certainly Alpha in that lead, and one more. Never mind. Thought for a second they'd go bottom on Oscar, but for now, instead, it's Infamous turning.
It's difficult to go onto Oscar here, though, and I think Rise is
Furion's dead instantly. Rise is 6, so he should be somewhat fine. Keyword is somewhat. Infamous are chasing, but they will have to settle with a Crystal Maiden and a Courier kill.
It's not so bad. But yeah, I mean, this is what it would really change from like level 1 to level 2 on Death Prophet. Like, a lot of people saw the Spirit Siphon nerf and was like, wow, this ability is like kind of trash now. It wasn't really nerfed. Like, the early mid-game, the amount of HP...
Bottom lane again, Snowball stun on Slade, and we're still fighting. Perfect 2-man impale allows Slade to walk away, though.
Yeah, it was difficult for Oscar to get back on top of these heroes here, unfortunately. And
I'm sorry to cut you off again, Neph, but we're still not done. It's Rise's diving with the Shadow Dance. Empyrean arrives with the Frostbite on Nick's Assassin. Oscar's still juking south of the tower. In the 1v3, still has one Siphon and a Raindrop, and he'll get away. Maybe? They know he's there, they just don't know where exactly he is.
Yeah, it looks like Oscar's going to be able to survive this one. I don't know. Help isn't
maybe
coming.
Not. There's a snowball again. We're diving one more time. The Frostbite and the Shadow Dance not available for Rise, but it does not matter. Satan's there with the one-man impale into a one-man gush from Tidehunter. Rises jukes to the west, now turns on Katu. It's MJZ, the Tidehunter, taking a lot of damage. He's blocked away. Good block on the tree path from Rises. But MJZ is just still too tanky.
Oh, no, no, no. Get him out of here before they dive the tower. Or at the very least, Rises is out of mana. Certainly they're not going to dive. Crawler, calm down. He's going to just dive for this one.
This is great. This is amazing.
This is high quality, though.
You know, it's funny, last series I casted, first game, first blood was after minute 9. We have 20 kills before minute 9 right now. This is beautiful.
Yeah. You know, for all the schedule issues, at the very least, you're getting some good Dota right now, at the very least, Badger.
Meanwhile, like, top lane, Qatar gets a kill on Satoshi. How is that even happening? He commits all 3 Remnant solo kills the Bat Rider.
Yeah, unfortunately, throws out a Sleight of Fist and Chains, trying to get his hands on a Crawler as well. Doesn't manage to connect with anything, and he is all out of mana, so nothing can happen.
Meanwhile, over into the river, it's Rises finding MJZ. It's Tide dead again, fish on fish action. A small fish winning, as you mentioned during the draft. And now Superior on the run, tanking the Impale. Oscar arrives with the Siphon. Rises has that Dark Pact, looking to man fight, turns into a 1-for-1 trade. Correction, a 2-for-1 trade. Now as Rises on the run, Arrow will fly, but it still will miss. Rises jukes to the south, all the way into the Radiant side trees, and he'll get away here.
Exorcism committed, unfortunately. That is a big tool in Infamous's kit to kind of reestablish, I guess, XP. Networks is relatively even despite the fact that it's 9-15. This Slark is having a really good game, but the supports on the side of Alpha are quite poor right now.
This is the one important thing, is the heroes that need to have momentum have momentum. Slark is out of control right now, and Huskar is doing A-okay. Not great, but he's doing okay.
Yeah. Chasing down these illusions over here in the river. Not much happening. It looks like Slark is trying to hunt down the Death Prophet inside the jungle. Maybe going to cut these creeps, put some pressure onto this bottom tier 1 tower. Get some more control over the map.
Actually a little bit curious what Slark goes for this game. I think he has an Echo Saber on the Courier right now. He does. We've seen a lot of these Slark players go for like a BKB Axe type build, so I'm curious to see what Rises goes for with his money he has.
Yep.
Ooh, top lane. We have a tower siege on our hands. It will be a trade of towers as Rise already grabbed that bottom side T1 tower, but it's a lot of these Infamous heroes in the top lane. Siege unit as well. We're seeing Huskar TP in. That's Black Soul looking to defend. Life break forward there on MJZ. Tide most certainly will die, but will there be a trade? Oscar is Dyer's new target. Lassoed forward towards the Huskar. 2 kills now for Alpha, and now it's Kotaro and Slatems on the run. Kotaro will Remnant to the south, perhaps. He has Remnant still available to be activated. Alpha looks for the dive. 2-man chains from Kotaro onto the Radiant side, T1 tower top lane. And it seems like now Infamous want to turn. Sladen is invis with Vendetta, looking towards Batrider. Remnant forward by Kotaro. Satoshi is dead. Now we see a punch on Silence from the south side. Marana still fighting. Frostbite forward. Leap away by Marana. Chains on Slark. Slark has fallen. He turned to Tusk. And Tusk is dead. What was a 2 for 0 is now a 2 for 3. And Empyrean could be that 4th death. Remnant forward by Kotaro. Infamous run Crystal Maiden down. The Wolf will not run swiftly. And that's one more kill for Kotaro Hayama. Great turn by Infamous.
Yeah, managing to turn that one net worth lead finally in their favor. Infamous bring back after the laning phase. I was concerned about their prospects in this game. You know, Slark comes out super far ahead. You're playing against a Huskar who, you know, once he gets his arm, that he feels like such a massive issue into the later game. But they're recovering quite nicely now. They managed to take that fight and reverse it before the Tidehunter even had his Ravage available. These next fights are going to be significantly easier for them. Alpha probably sweating after that one.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those games where before they were, you know, in a pretty commanding spot. Now it seems like it might just be on Rises to be that #1 most farmed alpha male hero in the game. We are still on level 6 watch for MJZ. Poor Cat U is still level 5 at minute 12, but eventually he will have that Ravage. Now be a huge power spike.
Bottom lane, looks like they're trying to set up on the Death Prophet with the Slark and the Batrider here, and
there is no lasso, so it's going to be a somewhat hard kill. Perhaps it won't be. Exo turn by Oscar. He's half HP, has the siphons. Pounce forward by Rises. Oscar is dead. Arrows there on Slark, but not quite in time for that Shadow Dance. Currently 1-4 Batrider dying. Freezing Still comes in from Empyrean. Sladen and Slatins are on the run. Neither are dead. Now in comes MJZ. Ravage. It'll be there on 2. Purged off by Slark, but in comes Kotaro Hayama. Slight chains on Crystal. Maiden Impale to follow, now 2 kills, and a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Infamous. Rises still runs to the east, he's being run down by Tide and Ember. Rises has Pounce available, he'll Dark Pact, but he just dies. Ember has too much damage. 3 kills for Infamous, a 3-for-1 teamfight win.
Yeah, he ducked in the trees there for a second, I think, try to get like a little bit of movement speed bonus or regen there. I think he realized he wasn't able to TP out as Morano was just going to throw an arrow into the trees where he was sitting, and was kind of boned from that point on, but Slatem's now super far ahead on a mega kill spree. Actually, 200 net worth ahead of the Huskar, and this is Marana Huskar lane. That is impressive.
Not something you see very often. I mean, Marana Huskar in general, but Marana being this farm, because usually you see her play either 4 or 5 nowadays, so it's certainly interesting to watch. It's a bit of a throwback to like the years ago Marana.
Yeah, speed gaming.
Of course. Game leaps to their own speed.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
I know, you're referring to like 2013 speed gaming, but still. I had to say it.
Yeah, but Maelstrom now done on the Marana farm is really going to accelerate here, and now the heroes going to position themselves over by the mid tower. They don't have Ravage to work with, so if they want to commit, I think that Alpha do have a pretty easy time taking this team fight. In fact, on the back line right now, Slark tries to commit on the Ember Spirit.
He'll be A-okay, though. Shadow Dance run away. Arrow's on the way, but again, Rises just runs away too fast. But we might still be in for a fight in middle lane. Nyx is invis via the Vendetta, but right now, Alpha not giving the greatest of kill opportunities over. Maybe it'll be Crawler, gush forward, leap in by Slatims, and we are paused. At the pause from Sladen, the second pause of the game, both by we instantly resume the game. Gee, sorry from the Nyx Assassin, we're back again. Or maybe not. Maybe we're still paused.
Yeah, they're going to discuss this one for a second.
We're back again. We resume the game. Now is Crawler being dove a little bit. He's 1/4 HP, but Slight Gains were missed by Kotaro. No, it's Sladen. The wraparound on Huskar. Vendetta Impale. That's a slight forward, but no, the snowball save. What a fantastic play by Crawler. Now it'll be Kotaro once again looking to dive. Lasso on Nyx Assassin. Nyx is dead. Currently that 1-0 Satoshi has no lasso. A flame breaks forward Kotaro. Problem is the chains, the damage. It's far too much. Batrider dead. Now 1-for-1. Exo from Oscar. Looking for that T1 tower middle lane. The T1 will perish. Correction, it's Glyph to delay the perishing. Slight Chains again will be on Empyrean on the backside of the fight. Kotaro is forward. Empyrean is dead. With a Ravage, will be there on 2 to protect Kotaro Hayama. A double kill for Oscar, and now Rises. The lone survivor's arrived, but he's arrived too late. His team is dead, and he's running in a 1v4. He'll Dark Pact just to run away. Now Shadow dancing. He will escape with his life, but again, a 4-for-1 in favor of Infamous, on top of claiming the middle T1 tower.
I mean, again, we were both worried when we saw this. Whoa, 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 Rise.
Whoa.
He's low HP, but he's got his friends with him.
Okay, you're saying?
Yeah. We were concerned about Infamous right after the laning phase, but they managed to find all those kills up in the top lane, bounce back after that, and Alpha completely lost their foothold in the game. Like, they went into that fight without Ravage available. They had it like towards the end of it, managed to make this massive stun play. Slark comes in as well, and he's forced to use Shadow Dance there. Just they're falling apart. I think they didn't realize just how far behind they were after they took a couple of deaths, and now they're just kind of crumbling.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation where Slark has been farming creeps. The problem is Ember is farming heroes, and these heroes just seem to be worth more money right now. However, bottom lane, speaking of farming heroes, it's Sladen who will get farmed in a 1v3, try to Vendetta away, but with that Dust of Appearance, the Nyx is dead.
Well, they managed to find something. I mean, not an ideal kill, unfortunately, but does let you establish control over the jungle. I mean, this is exactly an assassin place. He's going to play super far forward. He's going to be in the danger areas of the map. He's going to be scouting out the enemy team's movements. So usually they take a lot of deaths like this. That's why we see him at 0-7 right now, despite his team doing pretty well.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to die on supports. Especially 5, but even a hero like Nyx, it's just sometimes pushing the lane. You get information, you get farm, you get XP, and if you die, you die.
Yeah, Embrace found the bat right. I'll probably pass that one over to Huskar. Yeah, give him a little bit of extra magic resistance strength. Over in the jungle.
Yeah, it's Empyrean dewarding. They know he's dewarding. Arrow will be there on Crystal Maiden. Snowball forward, hits on Sladen. Sladen again is dead. It's now 1-for-1 trade. Empyrean dying. Crawler will ice shards himself to try to save himself, but it won't work. 2 kills there for Infamous. One more team fight win, and it looks like it could be Roshan time. Exo available for Oscar, so what was that big objective for Oscar to take will instead go to Infamous if they can secure it. And it seems like they will.
Yeah, with double damage rune and Exo, like, it is just too good. You definitely go into this one. You have Mechanism available as well. They're hesitating here. A little bit worried about Slark potentially jumping in, but Ember Spirit over outside of the pit currently dealing with it.
Slark is still hasted, running towards the Roshan area. Roshan's 1/5 HP. Slark runs in, now runs away. The haste has ended, but Roshan's still alive. Infamous, return to the pit. Black Soul is running in, rises, will engage into the pit with Shadow Dance. Roshan on the floor, Murata grabs it. Ravage hits on 3. And now Huskar man fights, but he will inevitably die. 1-for-1 trade. CM has their freezing field canceled immediately. Crawler, Empyrean, they're both on the run. Rise is there on the east side. Lasso is there on Ember. It's chaos around the pit right now. Empyrean now dead. Crawler dead. Kotaro dropping. He might die here. Rise is there in the backlines, but no! Kotaro escapes, pounds forward. Ember dead. Meanwhile, it's now a jump, a mad dash to bring down Rises. He runs to the southwest towards the Radiant buy camp, toward that secret shop area. He pounces away. Infamous chase. They want to avenge their Ember, and they do. Again, huge rout in favor of Infamous.
Some nice pickups there on the side of Infamous. Unfortunately, they do lose the Ember Spirit's, was that like Godlike Spree? A lot of gold going the way of the Slark for that one. A lot of gold in XP. I think you probably gained like 2-3 levels from that, actually.
Yeah, it was 3k XP going to Slark there. That's a lot of XP.
Yeah, the rest of his team is going to suffer for that one. And I mean, we saw the same thing on the laning phase. The supports were kind of poor on the side of Alpha. The Slark was pretty far ahead. I don't think he's going to be able to just lift his game on his back by himself.
I mean, at this point, he might just have to. I mean, Huskar, again, you can itemize in a way that allows you to scale a little bit better. And we see it here with the Agnum Scepter, which allows Huskar to scale a little bit better than Huskar's did back in Antiquity, but again, Huskar, not a great scaling hero, so it could be an issue here. It might just have to be Slark.
I do like this, though. It is a more hard lockdown, which you deal with these heroes like Mirana, Ember Spirit. They have these escape abilities. Also,
Well,
decent for jumping on them immediately after like the Nyx Assassin initiates. You turn around with the save on Snowball, and then Huskar comes in. It becomes very easy to turn a fight when you have the Agnum Scepter done.
I know a number of these high MMR Huskar players go for like a blink axe type of build sometimes, where you blink on in, you life break in. It's just alright. You're just forced to interact with Huskar, which usually you don't want to do. You don't want to interact with the Huskar. You want to avoid interacting with the Huskar.
Right. Simply outfarm him, wait for the late game.
Yeah, I mean, if you force to fight him, then stun him, kite him, use items like Halberd on him, just refuse to play Huskar's game. Arrow almost hit, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that was your reaction on that one. Meanwhile, the T2 tower is just dying to Oscar, the longtime SA veteran. Meanwhile, it's a dive well past the tier 2 tower for Satoshi, who instead will lasso on Nyx. Ravage turns, hits on 2. Fat Rider and Tusk. The former will die, the latter still fights. Pounced forward by Rises. Aghanim Scepter now in hand. He hits Tide Hunter. Snowball forward will stun on 2 heroes. Correction, 3 heroes at the very end of the fight, and now Huskar goes in. He's instantly dead. Rise will try to fight. He has the Shadow Dance, but Crystal Maiden is dead. Rise is running out of teammates. He'll turn to Sladen. Sladen is dead, but it's currently a 3-for-1 in favor of Infamous. Rises will survive, but again, 3 kills and the tower. Another win for Infamous.
He just got completely owned there by himself. He jumps onto the Nyx Assassin with that life break. He reflects the life break damage. He's lost like basically all of his HP at that point, and he's stunned. Super far out of position. He's just
Slatims leaps blindly to the high ground, right into Rises. Huge heads-up play there from Rises. Now can they kill Marana again? Marana has the Ilu rune, pops to try to run away. Pounce comes forward. Snowball does not stun, but it does not matter. Slatims barely dies. And just like that, that's a lot of gold going back to Rises and Crawler. He's not done. He's going on Tide Hunter under that outpost right now. And well, Tide is dead. Big Fish again, eaten by Little Fish. Now the food chain works, but that's how it works in Dota.
All right, I stand corrected. I didn't think Rise would be able to do this all by himself. That pick off onto the Marana, you just wasted your Aegis. You went down again. You're giving up all these stacks. This Slark has 153 stolen agility right now. Look how quickly this mid-tier 1 tower goes down.
Yeah, one might call that a lot of damage, and they would be very accurate.
Yeah.
But we're not done fighting yet.
Sladen realizes...
He's caught.
Yeah, they realized they had vision on him when they shouldn't have. And the support
He's punched on up.
Yeah,
he's just dead. Kotaro is there, but at this point, no avenging Nyx. Nyx is dead. No saving him, no avenging him. That's 57 kills in 23 minutes. That is about 2.5 kills a minute. It's some high-action Dota right now.
Yeah, you'll love to see it, man. Sark is so happy to be in games like this, where there's just non-stop kills happening. He constantly has these essence shift stacks built up. It's like he's carrying a bunch of extra items. The Infamous realizes this, I think, at this point, and goes, okay, we did great for a little while. We just need to chill. We gotta wait for these Slark stacks to reset. Then we can go for something. Abilities are on cooldown right now as well. They don't have Midnight Shadow. Ravage is coming back up now, but you know they lost from splitting up and not respecting the Slark and just taking fight after fight.
Seems like Sladen's dead again, by the way. You know, respawn in, TP top lane, but wait, they can't actually kill the Nyx yet. And Infamous want to fight. A 3-man smoke comes from the southeast towards the northwest. Arrows scouts. Rise has been chained on the low ground, but it's instantly purged by his own Dark Pact. Rises will pounce away twice with the Aghanim Scepter, and just like that, it's Kotaro going forward looking for more. Alpha will scatter in every direction. Pings towards Huskar. Big kill if they get it, and they almost certainly will. He'll life break forward, but I think he accepts his death. And just like that, 1 core kill from Memphis, and they want 1 more. Satoshi, the new target, stunned by Nyx Assassin. Sladen, who was the impetus that started the fight, now brings down another core hero, and well, with Satoshi dead and Black Soul dead, 2 more core kills for Infamous there. So you know what? We get together again. We are the veteran team. We have the composure. We'll get the big mid-game kills.
It's happening for them. Meanwhile, the Ember Spirit throws Remnant down, heads down to bottom lane in order to push that one out. Doesn't want the Slark to get another free tower. Grabs the tier 2. All of a sudden, they have to worry about outposts being taken. They don't control their jungle anymore. So, we move to Katara moving down to the bottom lane, and not so easy to find a kill on him when he's got this Lincoln Sphere. Really limits what the Crystal Maiden is able to do, unfortunately. But Slark by himself, still kind of scary. You got like, what, 8 seconds of lockdown on the Ember Spirit when you use double pounce?
Oh, Sladen was caught under an Ob Sentry combo, but he's actually running away with the Tumblers toy in the 4-step. Never mind.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to be fine. They don't manage to connect with that on the side of Alpha. And
it gives away a ward as well. Now, I mean, at this point, if you are Infamous, you know with 100% certainty Alpha have something in this circle warded.
Yep. The circle? Yeah, this circle. Thank you. Excellent.
Yeah. More of an oval, yeah, but it's you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's one of those things. We're back to a little bit of a break between the fights. Infamous go for the D ward, knowing, hey, he has some kind of vision there. Sladen's got the career, the support class. Wait, no, he doesn't get the ward. He has run out of sentry wards. So he cannot deward the ward that he knows is there somewhere, but instead it'll be a two-man smoke from Alpha. Rises pouncing on MJZ in the river. He's hiding the Roshan pit, juking on around. Rabbit will be there on 2 heroes. Oscar arrives, silencing Crawler, but it's the main focus there on Rises. Will BKB in turn. Freezing Field as well on the way. Black Soul is there. Bat Rider is there. Oscar is dropping. Oscar has been lassoed. It's a 1-for-1 trade with Empyrean dying as well. Slothems dies to Black Soul. Pounced forward by Rises. He wants more. He finds Sladen, and Sladen is dead. 3 kills for Alpha. Catch you, MJZ, Mr. Tidehunter will force staff to the west, to the low ground, to run away, and it seems like his jukes will be successful, but regardless of Infamous, the team fight is not. A 3-for-1 in favor of Alpha.
I gotta see how much damage Imperial did that team fight. That was super sick. Was it the Death Shroud on top of him?
It was it had to have been, yeah. Or else it would have killed the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah. What's my fight recap? Come on.
37-67 damage from Crystal Maiden, which is, by the way, higher than both Huskar and Slark and Death Prophet for that matter. So yeah, highest damage in the fight.
That is the 5 right there. Empyrean Dota, everyone. Took a break from DPC, but he is back, baby. Back for Pro Series to take everybody's money.
I'm sure it's like Giant and Logical watching this game right now, cheering for Empyrean with their hardest efforts. And I don't blame them. Empyrean, good player.
Unfortunately, everyone else.
Pounce forward by Rises, but wait, Sladen is a Nyx. He's fine. You were saying before that? We're not done yet. I should not let you talk. We're not done fighting. We see a remnant forward by Kotaro. Rise been caught in the river, but no, it's a snowball to save from Tusk. Crawler gets Rises away for a little bit longer. MJZ is low, but still alive. Shadow's been used by Rise. He pounces forward looking for Tidehunter. Tidehunter is still dropping, but still alive. He's actively invisible. Moonlight Shadow. Dust comes through now, but Tide's still alive. And now it's Infamous catching the entirety of Rise on the entirety of Alpha on the low ground. MJZ is dead. The problem is it's not time for Infamous to run. Flame Break brings Oscar back. Lasso will not even be needed. I don't even think they bring that kill down on Oscar. Rise will miss the pounce. Qatar remnants away, but Crawler has the snowball, falling under that tier 2 tower. Sladen is on the high ground. He's currently a ward with a mana burn as it currently stands. Alpha, who have gotten 2 kills, will now run away to the northeast, back towards that Roshan pit area. Roshan just respawned, by the way, so we could be in for some fun here.
Oh, please look in the pit. You got a Husker, you got a Slark with all this stolen agility. It's where you want to go right now, but they're walking back up to the high ground. You see, the reason they disengage there, they just don't have the mana on the Slark. They finally managed to pop Guardian Greaves and whatnot again, build it back up. Now they're going for it. Huskar's healed up so much at this point, though, that he is not putting in tons of DPS, unfortunately, but still has a decent amount of stolen agility, so Roshan does go their way. It has been an incredibly back-and-forth game, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's 33-32 in kills. Second Roshan has died, so it's Aegis to Rises. I believe the shard went to Black Soul, yeah, it did. So it'll be the Huskar shard, which is very cool.
I thought it went to Bat Rider.
Went to Bat? Oh, you're right, it went to Bat Rider. My bad. I saw it to go into Huskar's inventory for a little bit. Might have missed seeing it. Wait a minute. Rises. He's been caught in the river, but he's fighting. He'll engage 1v5, letting his team now arrive. Exo comes through from Oscar. MJZ, the target of Alpha. Oscar still brings away everything. Life break forward by Black Soul. Ravage will be there on 4 heroes. A massive Ravage from MJZ. Empyrean is dead. The trade for Oscar. The Exo is now over. Crawler is now dead. Impale on 2 from Sladen, but he too will die. So it's currently a 2-for-2 trade. Satoshi is going forward. He has Lasso available once again, looking for Slatims. The Marana has a Lincoln Sphere, so we're going to need something to pop that Lincoln's, and it'll be the Lasso, never mind. So Marana gets away, it'll be that 2-for-2 trade.
Yep, it is the Lasso that pops the Lincoln Sphere.
It's a way to it's a way to pop the Lincoln Sphere.
It is certainly a way to pop the Lincoln Sphere. What can you do, bros?
Yeah, it's how it goes sometimes.
Well, he's now aware the Lincoln Sphere's there.
Still a 2 for you.
Yep.
What's now a 5,000 net worth lead for Alpha? I think this is is it the largest lead of the game? Yeah, it's definitely the largest lead of the game by a good margin. So this is good game state right now for Alpha.
Bottom lane, catapult, creep wave. The heroes here. Managed to make quick work of the tier 2, then move to the outpost, taking... Come on.
They're gonna do it eventually, right?
Empyrean's got it. Listen,
There we go. Full
Empyrean
support's
knows
on.
about
I know.
objectives. Yeah, okay. The team kind of
Meanwhile, Cat U, Mr. MJZ, he'll get caught in the dire jungle doing the exact same move Empyrean was, grabbing the outpost. Problem is, he's just dead.
Yeah.
He's just dead.
She can do about that one. By the time the taunt ends, your HP so low that there's no way that you're going to be able to TP out of that one. Huskar makes quick work at Tidehunter as well at this point.
I always feel sad whenever MJZ dies. He's one of the nicest players. Like, one of the nicest pro players. I always feel sad whenever he dies. Speaking of players dying, it's middle lane where Sladen gets gone on by the entirety of Alpha. However, Snowball was reflected by the Lotus Orb, delaying the death, but only delaying. He'll get dove, he'll get brought on down. Another kill for Crawler. 36 kills for Alpha. It's 36 kills to 35. Well, Slatins. Dangerous play, but he'll leap away.
Yeah. It's Barrier looking for whatever he can find here. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to connect with anybody. I mean, these Lincoln Spheres make it kind of annoying as well, up until he's got something to break that. You know, regardless of the fact that he's got this, what is that called? Eye of Vizier for the extra cast range, it's not going to be easy to land these lassos. You're playing against, what, one Lotus Orb, yeah, on the Death Prophet, and then 2 Lincoln Spheres, one on the Ember Spirit and the Mirana.
Maybe he needs to buy either a Force or perhaps a Yule Scepter just to literally pop the Lincoln Spheres. Problem is, there's still the Lotus Orb. So there's never a perfect solution.
Titan Sliver, a nice find for the Huskar. He's definitely going to be holding on to that one. And he's almost got his Heaven's Halberd finished as well. Ceremonial Robe finished, probably past that one to Batrider CM. We'll see. Either way, not looking to take fights right now on Infamous, or just getting outplayed. The Slark is now becoming incredibly scary, sitting at nearly 21k net worth. He's got 22 permanently stolen agility.
Yeah, it's a lot of permanent stolen agility.
Infinite
I mean, he
now.
still has 2 lives as well. I mean, he's a very hard fish to deal with. Very hard fish to fry, one might say.
Yeah, there we go.
I realized after they came out of the mouth, like, wait a minute, I said the wrong words here.
Yeah, I could definitely improve on this one. Let's workshop it a bit.
Luckily for... Oh, that's a lot of money on that courier. MKB delayed for a long while. Well, only 3 minutes. That's still 3 long minutes in Dota.
Yeah. 2 minutes, and they're desperately going to need that as well. There's a lot of DPS that they're struggling to beat through these heroes with.
In comes Ryzes. He's running into Invis heroes. Ravage will be there on 3. Sladen looks to follow up on Batrider with a 2-man Impale on Huskar as well. Tusk is low. Infamous look to fight with the Exo on Oscar. Slaptems arrives. Sladen is dead. Ryzes is deep behind enemy lines. Edith expires in 7 seconds. Sladen buys back into the fight. Soul runs away. Everyone Alpha runs away. Immortality is lost on Slark. Snowball forward, blink away by Crawler. But there will be a Radiant Snowball following him back next to that Lotus Orb. So now it's MJZ deep into the high ground area. Rises and Black Soul go forward, jumping on Oscar. Oscar is bursted down, and now it's MJZ. 4 staff into the north, trying to buy time for his team to escape. Tide most certainly is dead, but will more of Infamous die as well? Snowball forward by Crawler, hits on Slaptems. The last little fall, the Lincolns was already popped, so now it's Crawler dying, but it will be worth it if they can kill Mirana, but they cannot. The flame break, the pounce forward, no. It misses, Rises, he wants to kill. Satoshi will get it, and now it's Rise looking for more. That'll be a dieback on Nyx if he dies, and it seems like he will. He most certainly will. Rises, pounces forward, there Kotaro is at the fountain, but he's just dead! The full 5-man wipe, and Rise has so much agility right now.
He's going to tear through this base in seconds once he gets to the tier 3 tower. Tier 2 is now dealt with. He's walking up to the high ground. They don't have Fortify available right now either. Look how quickly he's ripping apart this tower, man!
It's just dead. It's simply dead. You need to, at this point, get a construction crew. Pounce forward again by Rises. Oscar has been caught. The Bloodthorn. The force was not perfect. All the way to the fountain. Oscar gets away. The buildings. Not so lucky. They cannot get force snap to the fountain. Therefore, they are dead. Top Rack's fully down. Rises. He's again at the fountain. This man's out of control.
He's getting distracted right now, though. I mean, they're buying very valuable time. If he's not hitting these buildings, they might just survive. And they have another Fortify available. These pounces in.
He's fine. He's fine on MJC, but only for now.
Okay, they don't commit the Fortify for that one. Instead, they're going to save it for this last defense of this bottom racks here. Rises, he's sitting pretty low HP, man. I don't know
He
about this
is.
one.
Well, there's your glyph. There's your escape time. Slatims has the arrow. Ready to fly. Leap forward. Arrow will hit on. Rises somehow. Wait a minute. Then the follow up. Okay, they're too far away to go on Slark. It was both perfect yet meaningless. That arrow.
The best useless arrow I've ever seen.
It truly was. Like it's the exact arrow you want in a vacuum, but it was just useless. What can you do? At this point, I mean, if you're Alpha, this is a really, I'm not gonna say it's a one game, but it's a very great game state. I mean, they're up 2 racks, they're up 18,000 gold, they have map control, they have, I mean, a more traditional late game carry in the Slark, so it's looking real good right now. Speaking of long range arrows, there on Crawler's Tusk, but again, the follow up not there.
Well, Rises is hunting for heroes, hoping he gets
Lasso there on Oscar. He's force-staffed away by the Bat Rider as well. Rabbit will be there on 3 heroes. But can there be a turnaround fight? Crawler saves the Slark once again. One more great snowball from Crawler. And well, we've been talking about Rises. Speaking of Rises, he'll go in on Nyx. Nyx will force away Flame Break, bring MJZ towards the side of Alpha. Huskar is forward. Tide is out. Nyx is out. 2 of the Fountain Infamous go, but at this point, this game's looking real lost right now. Rises is diving the Fountain for Slottins. He has no pounces left, but no, it's Crawler now in the Fountain with a depth charge. Kataru is dead. That's a full 5-man wipe, and there's 2 Gs in the chat, and just like that, Alpha take game number 1 over Infamous.
Yeah, amazing game there by the side of Alpha. It was back and forth, man. I mean, the post-laning phase, I thought, Infamous, they're managing to bounce back. I'm not sure Alpha can do anything. Then a couple of fights where they just managed to pick off hero after hero. You think they take these super successful engagement into Infamous, and then all of a sudden the Shark feels invincible. He got way too much agility. They ended up just giving away too much there. This is the hero that is a master at pickoffs and punishing separation, and unfortunately that's what Infamous did. Like, as soon as you got that Aegis, you split up with the Miranda, you ended up taking 2 deaths. I think at that point the game was over.
I'm sorry I'm not talking, but I'm like setting up the lobby for game 2 right now. But again, this is a fantastic game, really high energy, high action game. I had a great time. I hope game 2 hopefully proves to be similar, but we will have to see. I mean, I think if you're Infamous, this is a series that you really want to win. You probably think, we're the long time established BTS team. We're basically, I mean, Infamous is usually like top 4 in almost every pro series, so I'm sure they have stuff to prove here, at the very least morale wise.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they're able to bounce back after this one, or if they go in a downward spiral into a 0-2 against Alpha. But hold on, everyone. We're gonna take like a 5-10 minute break, and we'll be back for game